Here we go. And then I'll just pin me. There we go. Okay, hello everybody. How are you all doing? Hope you're all good. Let me know how you're all feeling today. I guess we're coming in from all over the world, so I don't know what time it is for you guys. But although you probably do hear a Yorkshire accent, I am from Leeds, but I'm actually living in Bondi Beach in Australia. So it is the morning for me. So good morning to you all. Good evening to you all in the UK and Canada. I'm guessing it's the afternoon at some point. Oh, someone's not muted. Let me see if I can do a mute all. Bear with me. Let's see. Here we go. No. Let's see. Yeah, if you're not muted, if you're unmuted, can you mute yourself? Should be muting everybody. Yeah, I'll leave you all in charge of that to mute yourself. Okay. Oh, no, someone's still unmuted. Yeah, just mute yourself if you can. That'd be great. Okay, so hello everybody. Nice to see so many people and see some faces that I absolutely recognize, and I can't wait to see you very soon. And some of you I don't recognize, but for those of you who don't know me, my name is Melanie Dean. And like I've mentioned, I am from Leeds, I'm from Yorkshire, but I currently live in Bondi Beach in Australia, which was always my absolute dream to live by the beach, even to the point when I was a little girl, a little child, or maybe more of a teenager. I had my mum and dad like paint my walls as like beach. So it was kind of like orange and blue. It was like sand orange and blue sea/sky. So it's always just been my absolute dream. However, in Sydney today, in Bondi Beach today, it is a little bit humid. So I could be giving you Monica from Friends vibes as the call goes on. It could just get bigger and bigger. I did make an effort, but you know, sometimes you just got to roll with it, right? It's just, you just got to surrender to the fact the hair's going to do what the hair's going to do, especially at 7 o'clock in the morning. So hopefully it does stay tamed, but just ignore the hair as it grows and expands. Just let that slide. So a little bit about myself. Like I said, I grew up in Leeds and always wanted to live by the beach and always wanted to be a dancer. Those are like kind of like two of my main things in life. And I did become a dancer. That was like my professional career. And through dancing, I met some incredible friends. I was like living in London. But before I lived in London, I was on cruise ships. And I guess that's where I really started to fall in love with the ocean and just being in like the middle of nowhere and just seeing like the stars and the ocean. It just felt so good. But I knew for my career I needed to move to London and dance. And so I did. And I met, like I said, I met some amazing friends. And from those friends that I met, I was actually introduced to an incredible business called Arbonne. I'm sure you're all familiar with, even if you're here on this call as a guest. And that was in 2011. I started my business in 2011. And it was a very different time then. I'm sure you'll all agree when you cast your mind back to 2011. Just the energy of the world was very different. I started my business and I was so incredibly determined, and that determination actually got me pretty far pretty quick. But what I realized was, and at the time, like a lot of us, I was putting all my joy, my happiness, I guess outside of me. I don't know if any of you can relate to this, but it was more of that, oh, when I can just get that title, then I'll feel happy. When I can get that car, then I'll feel happy. When I can just live in my dream home, then I'll be happy. And it was very much from an external point of view coming in rather than that inwards coming out. But of course, time changed. I grew and the world started changing. And actually, it wasn't that much later from 2011. It was probably like 6 months to a year into growing my online business that the world did start changing. And I definitely felt myself change and shift as well. I started coming across books by people like Wayne Dyer. Like, give me a comment if you've heard of Wayne Dyer. Like, he is kind of like the godfather of personal growth and spiritual development. Sadly passed, but he still has a place in my heart, even though I've never met him before. He's an incredible human being. I also came across books by Marianne Williamson and Eckhart Tolle. Again, give me a yes. I know all these people. If you know these people, and if you don't know where is, I can send you a little book list later. But when I started going into this world and reading all these books, it was just like this huge light bulb moment to me. And that I realized that actually there is nothing outside of me. And I know that sounds a really odd thing to say, and if I get time, I'll go into that a little bit more, but ultimately, everything starts with me and ends with me. And I'll tell you why I really love this right from the get-go. Suddenly, the power was with me. And I like that. I like to know that actually I get to decide. So going from that kind of maybe that victim, if I dare say, that victim kind of energy of like life's happening to me, like I don't get to say, this is the hand I've been dealt, which I'm sure a lot of you can relate to at some point in your life. And we can slip into that every now and again, like, granted, like sometimes there's been challenges and we feel that way, especially when things are really big that's going on in the world. We do feel like that we don't have the power. But going from that to going to actually shifting that energy to say, everything's with me. The power is with me. I get to choose. What do I want to choose as my reality? How do I want to see the world? How do I want to experience the world? It starts with me. It ends with me. And when my thinking started to shift, the world started changing for me and everything opened up. And like I said, it gave me this like empowerment, and it made me feel powerful, and powerful is a good thing, right? Like I think sometimes people get power and force mixed up. Force is kind of like that pushing kind of energy. Power is that bringing to you. It's an attraction. It's attracting energy. So suddenly I was able to start bringing things to me and attracting things to me. Not all the time. Like there's definitely been some highs and lows to my journey. But then I was like hungry for more. And I don't know if any of you guys who've been on this sort of personal growth, spiritual growth, have you felt like, I just want to know more, I want to know more. And so I just started reading more books. But what I then started to realize was that was just knowledge. And we are in the information world, and we can all probably Google like how to manifest. Just Google it. You'll come up with like a bunch of blogs. Or you can Google how to create £1 million, or it's all we're in the information world. There's so much information at our fingertips. But I wanted to go to another step. I wanted to feel what it was. I wanted the wisdom. I wanted to experience life. And we kind of got two people in the world. We've got those who sit in the stands watching, maybe cheering everyone else on, and also saying, oh God, you could have done that better. Or there's those of you that are on the playing field, playing the game, playing full out. You're getting knocked over, but you're learning. You're scoring a goal and you feel elated. And that's what I wanted to do. I always wanted to be on the field, playing the game, growing, learning, having that wisdom, but also learning from coaches, learning from mentors. So I decided to go and do my Kundalini yoga teacher training, which was an incredible experience. I did something called Vipassana. I don't know if any of you guys have had Vipassana, let me know if you have, which is a 10-day meditation retreat where you meditate for 10 hours a day and you're not allowed to speak to anyone. It's kind of like lockdown before lockdown happened. This is a few years ago. And from this, I started to actually experience in my mind, in my body, in my soul, like what it was to play with energy and to play with frequency. And I started to realize actually that that's what everything is. It's energy and it's frequency. And actually, when we know that, we can even play even more. We can play more with what we want to create, how we want to create it. But of course, we're here in this world for having a human experience. So we're going to have human challenges. We're going to have human ups and human downs as well. So I'm going to just share with you some like tips and some steps of how this can all then relate to you and creating what you want to create and living that life that you want, not what someone else told you, not what society's told you, not what your primary school teacher told you however many years ago, but what you want to create. So like, just pop me a message in the chat if that sounds good. If I was doing a Facebook Live now, I'd be like, give me an emoji. If you've got emoji on your in front of you, throw me an emoji. I love it when people throw me an emoji, because usually I see emoji like, oh, I've never used that one before. Like that's a good one. I'm going to start bringing that back. Yeah, I love a good rainbow. Get the rainbow in there. Okay, so like I said, number one, look to you, not outside of you. When you're looking to create your desires, look to you. It's challenging for some people because they realize that then they can't blame other people. They can't blame their situation. And that's sometimes a big pill to swallow, especially if you feel like you've been doing that for a while. But I encourage you to shift that way of thinking and shift that energy in you. Number two, what do you actually want? What do you actually want? So I want you to close your eyes because we can all write notes and then not do anything with them. I want you to have an experience. So close your eyes, sit up nice and straight, chin slightly tucked under, create a long, beautiful spine, back of the neck, top of the head. Eyes are closed if you feel comfortable to do so, but bring the eye gaze upwards and inwards between the eyebrows. This gives a real clear focus. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. Just relax. If thoughts start coming up, that's okay. There's no judgment. Let them just pass by with no attachment. There's nowhere else for you to be right now. This is all that exists in time. Keep the eyes focused with the eyes closed. Everything and anything is possible. How do you want your life to look? How do you want to feel? Joyful, healthy, prosperous, sexy, happy. And what do you want to create? What do you want to create? What do you want to experience? Start bringing that image into focus. Bring in some color. Bring in the feeling. How does it feel? Who's there? Who's with you? What can you see? How does it feel? Turn up the feeling. Turn up the feeling. Turn up the feeling. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. And slowly open your eyes when you're ready. Take your pen. Write down everything you feel, everything you saw. Just write it down. See if you can stay in that meditation. Clear mind. Write down whatever came up. There's no judgment, no stories. If judgment comes in, just let it go. It's okay. Just keep writing. Okay, so you don't need to tell me what you saw and what came up for you, but I would love to know in the chat, what were the feelings? How did you feel? You can pop in just one word, a couple of words. What was the feeling? Calm, joy, excited, love, happiness, free, beautiful, gorgeous. I want you to know that that place you can visit anytime you want. You have freedom within, and that place is there for you to go to whenever you want. Look how that made you feel. You can go there anytime. So our feelings, actually there's a study by David Hawkins, and he realized that feelings were all a frequency. And so like joy and love are obviously a high frequency. And then feelings of like guilt and shame were low frequencies. And so knowing that we create our world, we create our reality, and we know that everything is frequency, we actually get to choose what we bring in through our frequency. It is a vibration. So it's okay to have bad days. It's okay to not feel good. But see if you can turn it around quick. And if you can't, sometimes I have days where I just feel that way, right? So instead of feeling guilty about feeling that way, I feel happy about feeling that way. So even if you can like bring yourself to be like, actually, you know what? I'm feeling just a little bit this way, but I'm just going to enjoy it. Just going to like just totally like be in that moment. But if you can shift, then shift. And even if you just shift up a few emotions at that scale of emotions, but know that we're creating from our feelings. So the way I always think of this is like radio stations back in the day. You know, if you're listening to Radio 1, but you want to listen to Classic FM, you have to change the frequency. We can't keep tuning in to Radio 1, Radio 1, Radio 1, and wondering why we're not hearing Classic FM. We have to shift our frequency. And so sometimes it's a case of just shifting our frequency to match what it is that we desire. Trust me, your only limitations in creating what it is that you want is your imagination. Because if you can imagine it, and if you can see it, and if you can feel it, then you can 1,000,000% bring that into your reality. So I'm sure for a lot of you, one thing that came up was, but how, Mel? But how? Tell me how, because this is a big change or a big goal or a big dream. Tell me how. Well, the thing is, if we focus on the how, what we're going to do is we're going to keep bringing up what we've always done. We have our conscious mind, our subconscious mind, and our superconscious mind, which is kind of that beautiful soul connection, that intuition. And most people live in the subconscious mind. In fact, most people spend 95% of their day in their subconscious mind, which basically means most people spend most of their day on autopilot, completely switched off, not connected to what they actually want, not connected to the feeling of what they want, but actually just like going through the process, going through the day. So we can program the subconscious, because what's great about the subconscious mind, it actually doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not real. It doesn't know the difference. It just keeps feeling the same thing, believing the same thing, and then that's when we keep experiencing the same thing. If we bring in the how, we're just going within our subconscious mind to tell us how to do it. If we go into the subconscious mind to tell us how, we're just going to keep doing what we've always done. We're going to keep coming up with the same how. So we have to tune into that super conscious mind, that connection to source, connection to global consciousness, because that's where the infinite possibilities are. And that's where we get infinite ideas from. And we get there through lots of different ways, but I'll come on to it in a minute. So think about programming the subconscious mind. To program the subconscious mind, we've just got to be more in the conscious mind. So tell me, what have you ever learned to do? Have you ever learned to drive a car, ride a bike, learn a language? Like, just tell me anything that you've learned to do that you now can do without thinking. Pop it in the chat. One thing that you do now and that you don't have to think how to do. Horse riding, skiing, amazing. That is definitely not in my subconscious. Still very much in my conscious mind when I go skiing. Cut hair, drive, swimming, yeah, riding a bike, jump rope, brilliant. Scuba diving, amazing, Kim. I didn't know you could scuba dive. Wow, that's so cool. Yeah, so, and do you remember when you started learning those things? You probably had to think about every single step, like every single step of how to create that. You were conscious. You were consciously thinking how to do it. And then what happened? You thought about it over and over and over and over again, to the point where you didn't have to think about it. It became in your subconscious. And you could just do it without thinking. In fact, you could do everything else while you was doing that. You could probably go scuba diving and think, oh, what am I going to have for my dinner tonight? Or, ride your horse and thinking, oh, what have I got to do tomorrow? Because it's in our subconscious. We don't have to think about it. So I want you to start bringing into your conscious mind your dreams, your goals, your desires, but not from a place of you don't have, but from a place that it already is. And how do we do that? We just keep focusing on that feeling, those feelings that you had when you saw those dreams becoming a reality. Talk about it like it already is. If people are asking you questions like, oh, have you hit that goal in your business yet? Like, for us, sometimes it's just that, like, it's a challenge because we're going to have to keep repeating maybe something that we've not created. So say, hey, just ask me a different question, or like, let's just talk about it in a different way. You know what? Let's just say it's 6 months from now, and I'm going to tell you exactly what's going on, and speak like it already is. Speak into reality. Like, play these games with things. Play the games with like the universe and the frequency and the energy. So we can then program that subconscious mind, and then we don't even have to think about our dreams, because the subconscious mind is just thinking, well, that's just a given. That's our new reality. And once that's in the subconscious mind then seeks everything to create that. It brings everything into your life that will absolutely create that. So that's kind of like a little bit of science behind how we create, through like that frequency, through our thoughts, through our mind, through reprogramming our mind. But like I said, to get there, we want to be a bit into that super conscious mind, that intuition, that connection, that connecting to the infinite possibilities. And really great ways to do that is meditating, is conscious breathing, is doing things that feel like a meditation to you, like scuba diving, like maybe riding the horse, but make sure you're really connected to what you're doing. Going for a walk, being in nature, that can be meditation too. Whatever feels good for you. But just know that there's no perfect, even I promise you, even when I did 10 hours meditation a day for 10 days, my mind still wandered. Like at minute 2, meditating for the last hour, my mind still wandered. It was a real conscious act to stop it from wandering. So don't go for perfect, whatever perfect is. Just go for doing, just go for being, just go for like experiencing, have fun with it, play with it. Like, honestly, if you can laugh at yourself and like what's going on in the world, or what's going on when you're meditating, if you can like get to that point where you're just laughing and you think it's hilarious that your mind wanders every 5 minutes, you've completely won the day. You've completely won the day. Just have fun with it. Because you do have this ego mind that is kind of like a monkey, and it just wants to run around and it wants to go crazy, and we just kind of put it in the cage, and sometimes it stays in the cage and sometimes it's like, let me out. And trust me, even when you get to the point when your monkey is in the cage most of the time, every now and again you need to like let it out. So for me, sometimes I'm like, I need to let the monkey out, because if I don't let it out in a controlled way, it's gonna go wild and it's gonna catch up on me, and I'm gonna totally miss it. So sometimes I'm like, you know what, it's takeaway pizza and Netflix time, and I'm going to let the monkey have its moan and have its day and have its wild time, but I'm conscious of what's going on. I'm conscious of my decisions, and I am in control. The power is with me. So that's a little bit about that. My third thing I wanted to ask you is, what came up for you in terms of like, did you have any things like, actually, that doesn't feel like that's possible for me? Like, just write anything down, like, yeah, but Mel, like, that can't happen because of this. That can't happen because of that. Anything that just came up. And then I want you to look at these things, and you can obviously come back to this later, and just ask yourself, is that actually a reality? Is that a fact? Is it really a fact? Or is it just something that you think about yourself? Or you think about the situation, or maybe society's told you not to think that way. And rewrite it. Rewrite it. Rewrite it so it gives you the possibilities. Because honestly, there's not many facts in the world. Sky's blue, the grass is green. And even that's debatable if you're colorblind, right? There's not many facts in the world. So start questioning, is this a fact or is this just a belief? And sometimes when we've been told something enough and over and over and over again, it becomes a belief system. It becomes fact, when truly it isn't. It's just we've been programmed to think a certain way and believe a certain thing. Ask questions. And you don't need to go deep and like, freak yourself out here, but just say, actually, is this my reality? I remember when I wanted to live by the beach and I put it on hold for so long, because to me, to live by the beach, you had to be like this multimillionaire. I don't know. I just thought that's what it was. And I started seeing people on social media living in Bali and just living incredible lives. And I thought, actually, I think I earn more money than they do. So if they can, I definitely can. And that was it. Booked my flight, spent 2 months in Bali. I ended my trip to Bali. I ended up coming to Australia for a conference with Arbonne, fell in love, packed up, went home, packed a bag, rented my house out. 6 weeks later, back in Australia, living by the beach. And here I've been for the last 2.5 years. I just started seeing things a little bit differently. And I asked questions. I asked, is this fact? Is this true? Is this my reality? So, like I said, let go of the how. Connect to you. You are it. You are the beginning. You are the end. Meditate. Whatever that is for you, guided meditation, deep breathing, Kundalini yoga meditations, yoga, surfing, walking in nature. Connect to everything around you. Bring in consciousness. When you eat your food, think about where it even came from. How did it even get to the table? Bring in that love and gratitude. And if you find yourself in your head, just come to the heart. Like literally, think about this now, like let your head go wild. Like think about all the things that you could be doing. And then go, zoom, bring to your heart. Like shift that energy, literally shift that focus and energy to your heart center. Is there any more questions? No. You know what there is? Love. Love, abundance, joy, possibilities. These places are here for you all the time. Like you can go to any of these places at any time. So I hope this has been helpful. I hope you feel that you're that little bit closer to what's possible for you and what you can create for you and in your life. I realize it's past and it is a 30-minute workshop, but I will happily open up to any questions. If you want to like pop them in the chat, ask me any questions. I love a good question and I love being challenged if anyone wants to challenge me on anything. But feel free to ask me anything. I'll give it a few seconds, couple of minutes or so in case anyone wants to ask me any questions. Thank you so much, everyone, for your feedback. That's really kind, really lovely to hear. Okay, let's just do like a little quick sort of just deep breath meditation while if anyone wants to send me any questions, or unmute yourself. I might lose the questions. Okay, yeah, I'd love to go deeper with meditation with you all, but of course this is like 30 minutes and it's a little bit challenging for that. So let's just wrap this up with just closing our eyes, sitting up nice and straight, chin slightly tucked under. Really feel that long spine. Remembering the spine goes all the way to the back of the neck. You're muted. Not muted. Mute yourself. Be mindful. Ask yourself, is that you? Am I the one? I think I just muted one. Okay, eyes closed. Bring the eye gaze upwards and inwards between the eyebrows. Take a deep inhale. Hold that inhale. Bring in the feelings. Expand that feeling out of your physical body. Exhale. Keep radiating that feeling. Inhale. Hold. Expand your electromagnetic field, your aura, your frequency. Exhale one more time. Inhale. Hold. Expand. Above the head, below, into the ground, outside of you, all around you. Exhale. Relax the breath. Remind yourself you have skill, you have tools. Breathing, conscious breathing will shift your energy, the energy of a room, the energy of a conversation in a moment. Meditation. Reconnect to yourself, to your heart, to the global consciousness, to your soul, your purpose. Provide your body with nutrition. Supplement with your nutrition. Take care of your gut. Be mindful that sometimes you're feeling that way because it's just your hormones. It's just the time of the month. It's just the time of the day. It's the time of the year. Let go of the judgment. Let go of any stories. Know that you are here on purpose, for a purpose. Ask for ease and grace. Ease and grace. Everything that you desire is coming to you with ease and grace. It's just so easy. You're just one of those people that just, everything just goes your way. Everything just always feels good. You always see the good. Bring in the gratitude. Bring in the appreciation. Bring in the awe for people, for nature, for life. You are incredible. You are incredible. Take a deep inhale. Let that filter throughout every cell and fiber of your body. Let the body vibrate. Exhale. Slowly open your eyes when you're ready. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful day. I've just spotted a question, so I will have a little look at it. If you want to hang out, this is someone else's question. Every time I try and manifest things go wrong, what can I do to put this right? Yeah, I understand that. I definitely have those moments as well. It's just, that's very normal, very common. Like, I completely understand that. The key thing is just being in that conscious mind. Be conscious as much of your day as possible of how you feel. How are you feeling? You know, we get to activate either the positive or the negative. There's always two sides to everything. See if you can bring in the positive of that side. And we do that with gratitude. And just relax. Relax from the stories. See if you can shift the stories of, you know what, everything's just going to go my way. Everything's going to be easy. I definitely went through a time where I had this kind of affirmation where I need challenges to grow. And then I was like, screw that. I'm done with challenges. I don't want any more challenges. I just want to grow because I'm growing. So, bringing that consciousness, any stories that maybe we're giving to ourselves, some way sometimes the mind's wandering in a place that's not serving us. Just be mindful. Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope this has been helpful. I hope you've enjoyed it. And I look forward to connecting with you all in the future and hopefully see some of you around the world over the next few days, weeks, months, and years. Take care, everyone. Lots of love. Bye.